I'm live. Okay, you guys, we are going to give this a second shot. I got to wait until some people come into the room so we can. Okay, what does that mean? So that we can, I can determine whether you guys can hear me or not because we were having. Okay. All right, let's hope it sticks because Laura could hear me in the beginning. Okay. Good, you guys. That's awesome because Laura could hear me in the beginning and then it went away. I don't know what's happening. Like I said, I have a new setup. I have a Mac situation happening. I used to have an HP situation happening and it kind of changes things. But I did all my troubleshooting and everything appears to be hooked up. If for some reason this goes south again, then maybe I'll just jump over to Instagram and do a live over there. It's been a minute since I've gotten on here and given a live. You know what's funny is all these people in the room and it says one person. So I don't know. I don't now it says three. Okay, maybe it's gonna catch up. Maybe there's something going on. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a minute since I've gotten on live. It's very interesting to be talking to a camera instead of into my phone like this, which by the way, you guys, wait. Oh, that's right, it's opposite. That right there is where I sit. Let me right there. I sit on the ground right there normally when I'm on Noon Vibe giving my live talks. And I just sit there like this and I have my little drinks and I have my pieces of paper and I just hang out and I stare at my bookshelf over there that you guys can't see. And sometimes just into la la land because I get into the zone. But at any rate, it's a little strange to be on looking at myself, but you know what? Like I said, muscle memory, it doesn't take much. So today I have a really fun topic for you guys and something that's a little bit different than thanks for all the love coming up on the screen. Yay, you guys can still send the love. It's a little bit different than what I normally talk about on now I'm frozen. Am I frozen to anybody else? Hello, am I frozen to anybody else? All right, let me see. Am I frozen to anyone else? Okay, no. Okay. All right, good. All right, just me might be your screen. Laura, just try clicking out and clicking back in again. We're doing all the troubleshooting and no sound again on her. All right, well, you guys tell me if you can get sound, if everybody else is having my sound still. I don't know what's happening. This is so weird. Hi, Shelly. Ha ha ha, it's so fun. It's so good. So good to have you all here. Okay. So my sound is still good. All right. Well, I'm going to keep going. Laura, you might need to click back out again and click back in. She probably can't hear me. Maybe somebody else could put that in the chat so that I can continue on with this conversation. So today, the conversation, you can tell I'm excited about it because I love talking about manifesting. I absolutely love talking about manifesting because this is all about energy. And what do you guys hear me say all the time? Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And once we get that in, once we really absorb that everything has a frequency, we have a frequency, and that frequency comes from our beliefs, our thoughts, which actually create emotions, which we've talked about. And emotions are energy in motion. So thank you, Jeanette, for doing that for her. Okay. So energy and motion. So once we understand that we are always manifesting, I know that's a little daunting. And sometimes it's kind of like, oh my God, did I manifest this? Did I manifest that? I get it. I understand that, but I'm not going to go into that today. Just know that our thoughts are creating things, period. Full stop. Our thoughts create things. Our beliefs create things in our world. Remember, the inner world is the direct, our outer world is a direct reflection of our inner world. It's what started me on this entire path because I did not like what was being reflected back to me. I didn't understand why I was having these things reflected back to me. So I said, I got to figure this out. Once and for all, I have to figure out why I keep getting these terrible experiences, only in some places of my life, because there were other places in my life that I had really great experiences. So I want to tell you guys that I have two really cool stories to share with you regarding things that I've manifested that were literally kind of against the odds. Like, how could this possibly happen? So if you stay tuned, if you can stick and stay, like our friend Peter talks about, then okay, if you can stick and stay, then you're going to get to hear those stories. And if not, this is going to be recorded so you can watch it on a replay. All right, you guys. So The first thing when it has to do with manifestation is first understanding that everything is energy. Also, the second thing is to understand God, source, universe, the quantum field. These are real things, okay? Now, some people, depending on your religious background and whatnot, you might be like, God is the quantum field. I just want you to use any sort of verbiage that helps you to understand that there are limitless possibilities, that miracles can happen every single day. And a miracle could be something like, how on earth did this show up in my life? And it's likely because you believed it possible. And this is why I talk so much on Noon Vibe about beliefs, how we're believing in ourselves, the beliefs that we're saying. And sometimes for some of you, it might be on repeat where you're like, Kristen, you said that again. I will continue to say it. I will say it and say it and say it because we have to understand that that's where this is all coming from. That's the foundation of all of this. And, I'll tell a quick story. I won't say who. I got to protect the loved ones. But there was someone in my life who was really thinking in so much lack. This person had a lot of fear in their life and a lot of fear swirling inside of them because a lot of us can be walking around with a lot of fear and not even know it. So remember, fears of the ego and faith is of our higher self, our God self, right? Wait, that's weird. There's two different energies that we can be in at any given time. And it's really important to know that. All of these things are foundations, are building blocks to us manifesting. So we can be in our higher self or our lower self, period, where there's nothing in the middle. So we're either in that loving, faith-filled trust, higher type self, or we are in that lower lack type self and, everything that has to do with the lower self. Oh, she can hear us now. Okay, great. That's awesome. All right. So we're in one place or the other. If we are in fear and lack, this is my left hand, by the way. I always do it on my left side, but it's opposite for you guys. Anytime that we are in fear and lack, then we are resonating out that energy. And guess what happens? The same thing keeps happening because it's the energy that we are vibrating out. And this is one of the hardest things, or I want to say hardest because you guys know, I don't like that word. It's one of the challenging things about this manifestation journey, that this co-creation journey that we're in. It's one of the most difficult things because we've been there for so long that it somewhere deep inside, we think we're keeping ourselves safe. We think we're keeping ourselves um, able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Predicting the future. Okay, well, if I just stay here and I know this and I'm predicting the future and I can feel safe in that prediction, but we're really just self-fulfilling prophecy. It's the same thing over and over and over again. So we have to be able to shift into that other side, into that higher self, God self, faith self, trust self, that type of thing, where there's hope, where there's belief, and into the quantum field is limitless. It's limitless. And once we can truly wrap our heads around these premises, and sometimes they take a minute. So don't beat yourself up if this has taken a minute for you, where you feel like you're in a lack place, you feel like you're in a fearful place. Don't beat yourself up because that's just where you are now. But you don't have to stay there. And that's the coolest thing is that we don't have to stay in one particular place. We can shift because we got this. We got a thinking power. And like I always say, you guys, we are more powerful than we think we are. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Shelley. We are more powerful than we think we are. And once we really start to shift our mind from that to this and do it repeatedly, because there's going to be times where we'll be like, yeah, I'm feeling the abundance. I'm feeling it all. I trust in the universe. I believe. I know things can happen for me. I'm worthy of those things. And then you tank for whatever reason. You just tank. Something happens. Someone says something. Maybe things aren't happening fast enough for you. That's one of mine. That's one of mine where I'm like, why is this happening? I've been doing the things and it's just not happening because I'm not really doing the things, or I'm not paying attention to what is lining up for me. There's something that's happening that I can't speak about right now. And somebody I know was going through a situation and it appeared things were going to be very, very bleak. But I could feel inside me, I was like, oh, this is so purposeful. It looked like what this person was trying to manifest was actually going the opposite way. And they called me all afraid and scared. And I said, I see the bigger picture here. This is part of the journey for you. It looks like it's backwards, but it's actually forward because what is happening, I'm sorry I have to be so cryptic, you guys, but what is happening in this situation is someone else that's involved is seeing something that they needed to see. I know that's cryptic. However, you got to trust that I see this happening, and guess what? It's exactly lining up the way that I predicted because I've come to understand the universe. I've come to understand that sometimes those back steps aren't really back steps. They're sit back and look at them. Look at your back steps and ask yourself, what's happening here? What's really happening here? Is this really not working out for me? Or is this really working out for me? And this is the next step that needs to be taken because there's something unseen that I can't see out there swirling in the universe that universe is taking care of for me. Everything is purposeful. Everything is purposeful. So I've come, because I've practiced this for some time now, to where even when it looks bleak and it looks like it's going backwards or it's never going to happen, I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I have a message, so I'm going to pause. Laura says, I'm manifesting that one day I will be sitting on one of those armchairs to talk to you and we will manifest more great stuff. Peter Carrington, our brother showed up. Thank you, Peter, for being here. All right, you guys get to see all the stuff that I'm doing when I'm usually on a live, and I say, hold on, stand by. All right, so let's get started. I really hope that you guys listen to this again on the replay, that beginning stuff, because a lot of people are thinking they're wanting to jump from where they are now to complete manifestation, but there's this area in between that we must come to understand. And I've actually retermed the law of attraction because I'm just bold like that. And I termed it the law of divine alignment. Okay. Why? And you've probably heard me say this before because what I've come to understand is that I have to align myself with the energy. It is not that, you guys, it is not that your dream is not available. That's another one I want you to put in your head. Take notes, write it down. Remember this. It's not that your dream is not available to you if it's a true dream. Because some people might say, I always use this example, I'm a 5'2", 50-year-old woman, and I can't be a NBA player on the men's basketball team or something like that. Or can I do that? I'm like, okay, you're 5'2", you're 50 years old. Do you really want to do that? Is that really your ultimate dream? So this is my first point that I want to make is to become crystal clear on what it is that you want. Not what you think is going to make you money, not what you think is where you need to live because what might be there. It's not the hows. It's going inside of your heart. Your heart. Your dreams are put in your heart for a reason, by the way. This is another one of my favorite things. Your dreams are put in your heart for a reason. They come from somewhere else. They come for you because we all have our specific dreams. My dreams might be different than your dreams. Everybody's dreams are different, but it's put there for a reason because it can be made manifest. Here's another really cool side note. Let me get my thoughts straight here. I got everything's flooding in right now from universe. Slow down, Kristen Brown. Okay. This is a healing journey. This is a spiritual journey. It could be a spiritual healing journey. We're returning back to ourselves after we have fractured away from ourselves, correct? You all know that, right? What do our dreams do? They pat us on the butt to start healing. Does that make sense? That's why I call it the law of divine alignment. Like our sister Stephanie said one day, she goes, I love that you said the law of attraction journey is actually a healing journey. And it is. Why? Because when we want something, there's stuff that we need to do inside of ourselves in order to align us to the direct vibrational frequency of that thing so that we can have it. Does that make sense to everybody? Thank you guys for liking the law of divine alignment. I'm a huge law of attraction person, but as you guys know, there's some guidelines where I talk regularly. So you'll hear me talk about it in different terms. So just going forward, read between the lines over there. Things that I'm saying purposefully, but I stay within a certain wheelhouse when I'm over on that other platform. Let me drink some water, everyone. Okay. So the first step is to get crystal clear about what you want. Now, when you get crystal clear about what you want, what's going to happen? Belief systems are going to flood in. All the old belief systems are going to flood in. I want, come up with something. Can you guys throw me an idea, something that you want? I'll say, I want a partner. Let's say somebody wants a partner, like the best partner of their dream partner. Okay, let's say they want something like that. But right away, what's going to come in? There's no good men or women left. In the area that I live in, the state that I live in. I mean, all these belief systems are going to come flooding in. I remember I had this friend who lived in a state. I won't say the state because I don't want to offend anybody. And she was wanting to manifest a partner. Manifest really just means bring into reality. That's all it means, bring it into reality. So she wanted to manifest this partner. And so I said, "All right, well, let's go at it." And the first thing she said was, "Oh no, all the men in my state, all the men, ALL, capital ALL, 6,000 font, probably italics, okay? All the men in her state only watch football and drink beer." That's what she said. And I said, "Well, let's question that belief." I'm like, "All the men? No, you don't know. Okay, but you have a whole big state. No, but you don't know. You don't know my state. You've never been here." She was so stuck on that belief that all the men in her state were like this. And she's absolutely going to have to change states in order to find another guy. Well, she can make that her reality if she wants to, but I know the quantum field. I know how this stuff works. And I promise you, not all the men in her state want to watch football and drink beer. Okay. That's just not a thing because people move all the time. There's all kinds of things happening. You don't know who's on some type of healing journey over there. You don't know what's happening. We just don't know. And that's one of the beautiful things about it. So come up with your desire. Don't be vague. Name it and claim it. Very first step. I want this. I want a dream career in blank. I want to be a size 10 or a size 8. I want XYZ, whatever it might be. Name it and claim it. Be sure that you say it in a way such as no. Be sure that you understand the way the thing is going to make you feel. This is another really important thing because a lot of times people are like, well, I want a lot of money or I want a new partner. I want this or I want that. But why? Well, because and they don't really know. Well, I want you to think a little deeper into that. Why do you want $6 million? Maybe it's because you want financial freedom. You want to do whatever you want. You don't want to work for anybody anymore. You don't want to guess where your next dollar is coming from. You want to be sure that you can leave something for your family. All of these things, like, get really radically clear on what it is that you want, and you have to dip into the emotion of it. Not just, I want a better job. I want to feel free, financially free. I want if someone's sending up lots of love, I can't tell who it is. Peter said, sounds like Virginia. That's funny. Still got my little cough, everybody. I don't know who's sending up all those loves, but I can't see it. It's just showing me. So thank you guys. A little bit different than where we usually are, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. Own your desire. And like I say all the time over on our other platform, when you own your desire, you don't have to share it with anyone. Remember, sometimes we're fragile. Sometimes we're a little delicate. Sometimes we're looking around, we want something different than the community that we're in and the community that we've been immersed in. Maybe it's family, maybe it's something else, whatever community that you're in. And You just know. If I say this to these people, they're gonna tell me I'm a freak or ridiculous. They're gonna laugh in my face. They're gonna say, "What, you?" Or, whatever it might be. So if you need to keep this thing to yourself, by all means, keep it to yourself. It's not for anybody else. This is between you and God Source Universe. The end. That's it. Between you and universe. There's a lot of things that I don't share. There's only a few people that I will share because I know they can hold it for me. I know that they get it and they can hold it for me. Other than that, no one knows what the heck I'm doing. And they don't even really ask, which is fine. It's okay with me. So remember, you don't have to go running around spouting this all over the place and telling everybody what you're doing. Keep it to yourself. Now, if yes, Peter said absolutely huge. I agree. Now, if you do have people that can hold this for you, then sometimes it's really serving. And I talked about this the other day on a talk. When someone shares with me their dream, I'm like, heck yeah, yes, let's do this. How can I help you? Oh my gosh, I believe this for you. And that can amp you up. Then you can tell those people because sometimes it's great to have those people for those moments of doubt. Because, like I said, some manifestations take longer and they take longer for various reasons. Maybe it's a big one. It's a little different when you order a 9-course meal as opposed to going to the fast food restaurant and driving through a window. It's a little bit different. Okay. So I often think about that. Okay, this thing that I want might be a 9-course meal. It's going to take longer to prepare. They got to fly in the lobster. They got to fly in the crab legs. You can tell I like seafood. They're going to have to fly these things in, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to take a minute. But this is important to understand to not lose trust and faith. Because, like I said, circling back to the beginning, there's something happening. There's something happening when nothing is happening. So please understand that. There's still something happening. But if you dip your belief system and you stay there for too long, then that's going to start momentum in that area, which is what you don't want. So yes, we can allow ourselves to have a little dip, like pity parties. Like I said, pity parties are serving. To me, pity parties release energy. I'm all about releasing energy, getting out of that low vibe yuck, and popping yourself back up again. Sometimes it takes longer than others. I get it. I know all the nuance of this. I've been in all the spaces regarding this. Let me drink some water. Okay. The next step, I touched on this already, is feeling the feeling now. Feeling as if it's already here. This can be a stretch. I know it can be a stretch because you're like, but, I'm barely making rent. How can I feel like I'm a millionaire? All right. I promise you, there's a way. The other day, I was running errands by myself. I was in my car, and as I do a lot of things in my car in the shower, I think I've talked about that before. So I was driving in my car and I acted as if I used my imagination, I used my thoughts, I used my feelings, and I acted as if I already have the desire. What does it feel like to drive around and to be me? What are my days going to feel like? What are the emotions that I'm going to feel? Dip into that. Here's the thing, you guys. Mike Dooley, huge law of attraction guy. He wrote Infinite Possibilities, which is, I love that book. I just love Mike. Mike is so, what's the word I'm looking for? He's just so positive and he talks straight and he doesn't mince words and he's 100% himself. I just love him. But he said, well, now I lost my point. This happens. Every time I sidebar, I lose my point. So let me try to get this back. I forgot what I was going to say. You guys remember where I was at? Okay, you can think of it. Okay. All right. Well, I'll take a pause right there because I have some long messages. Jeanette says, I want to be healthy to prove myself that I can be. And I can prioritize myself that much because I never have before. And so that I can be my best self and be available for part of my son's life. I love that. Okay. Jeanette, great example. What are you going to feel when you are, quote, healthy? That's the word you use. What are the emotions that you're going to feel when you're healthy? That's the word you're using. That's where I'm using that word. How is it going to feel? Get yourself into that position. Oh, that's what Mike Dooley said. Okay, let me just write this down so I don't forget. All right. Get yourself into that position at least 5 minutes a day. Okay. 5 minutes a day. Maybe before you start your day. And this is for anybody else who has things that they want to manifest and to make reality in their life. Sit with it first thing in the morning. It's a great time when we just wake up because we are awake. We're not tempted to fall back asleep again unless we haven't had enough sleep. That's a thing. But first thing in the morning, and just laying there when your brain waves are really low. Okay, we've moved out of delta. We're now into theta. Your brain waves are still really low. You're aware, but you're not super aware. And you just feel, what does it feel like to be in that space? What would it feel like? And just feel your emotions rise and sit with it as long as you can. And then, this is the most important part, put it down and just believe it's going to come. Again, these things sometimes can be stretches for people, but putting it down and saying, this is done. I call that declaring it so. I've even gotten to a place on my manifestation journey where I can declare things so. Oh, did you hear my tummy? Holy moly. Where I can declare things so. And I get myself into a particular space. It's a little hard to explain, but I get myself into a particular space. It's kind of like a zero. I don't even know how to say it. It's a space of nothingness is really the best word for it. And there's a certain way that I breathe during it. And I say, this is what I want. And I declare it so. I'm just saying, this is it. The key is to 100% believe in the abundance of the universe and the possibilities. We do have free will, though. And there are things that like I said, these manifestation journey is actually a healing journey. So in order to reach certain spaces, then we're going to have to do some work on the self, which is beautiful because any work on the self is going to be serving. And it's always going to raise our vibration in many different ways that we may not even have, many different areas of our life might start to reflect that back to us. And it's in those little small synchronicities. It's in those little things that I call breadcrumbs. When you start to see a little trickling of something different happening, or let's say you want to manifest money and you want to manifest a large sum of money, and you go into put on a jacket, you go into your pocket and you pull out, oh, I've got a $20 bill in here. Okay. That's called a breadcrumb. I also call it pelicans. What it means is when you're out at sea and you start to get close to the shore, you'll start to see birds, right? One of my friends calls it driftwood because near the shore is the driftwood. So if you start to see the driftwood, you know that you're getting closer to it. So thanks for the hearts and claps, everybody. So all of those things will start to show up. That is your opportunity to not say, oh, it's just $20. This didn't work. Or it's just 2 pounds. That didn't work. Or that guy seemed great at first, or that girl that I was dating, but then they turned out to be not so much. You're still manifesting. You're still getting part of it. Blow up the part of it. Blow up the part of it. I found $20. Thank you, universe. I am so grateful for this $20. See what I'm saying? So again, feeling the emotion now. Huge thing I'm about to say right now. The brain does not know the difference between a real experience or a vividly imagined experience. I didn't make this up. The brain does not know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined experience. Now, there's a lot of brain science around this. You can read the book by Dr. James Doty, Mind Magic, I believe it's called. He'll go straight into the explanation of what the brain is doing. Dr. Joe Dispenza, of course, you guys know I talk about him ad nauseum. He talks about this at length, and there's all kinds of other teachers that talk about this at length, that there's actually something happening inside of us, and the brain doesn't know the difference. So it starts to pull situations and experiences to us. I mean, I can't make this stuff up, and I'm a living example of so many times that this has happened. So I want to talk about feeling the feeling now one more time. I'm going to read some more messages. So Feeling the feeling now. One day, my husband and I were at lunch, just a little place right over here, little Mediterranean place we love. And we're sitting there at lunch, and I said, "Isn't it gonna be great when," because I think it was one of my days off from doing hair. Because remember, I was side hustling. I was doing hair, and I was side hustling as a coach and author and those type of things too. I was getting really exhausted. But anyway, it was one of my days off. We had lunch together, and I said, "Isn't it gonna be nice when we can have lunch every single day if we want to? Or we can go to a movie on, Friday at 2, or we can do this or we can do that." And he started riffing with me. He was like, "Yeah, and then this and that," and I felt it. I felt it. I was like, we were living it now. My face was beaming. I was like, it's gonna be so amazing." Do you know we are now in that position? This happened a couple years ago, but it took some time. It took about a year. I don't even remember exactly because I never doubted that it would happen, ever. And then one day we're going to lunch all the time, going to lunch, and I said, "Do you realize that we are now in what we talked about that day at ZK Girl?" And he was like, "Yeah, we are, aren't we? Wow. This is how it works, you guys. That is a prime example of how this works. Isn't it gonna be great when?" Is a great prompt. But feeling it with excitement, because I'll tell you, I've said, "Isn't it gonna be great when I'm not feeling anything?" And the thing doesn't happen. So it's, what do you really want? This is why it's so important to go back to step 1 to get crystal clear. What is your dream? What is your dream? Step 2, now these aren't even steps. These are just things. How are acting as if and how it makes you feel. Be in it. Be in it. We didn't do that 25 times. We did that one time. One time sitting at lunch, and that was it. But I kept the energy of it. I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be great. Yeah, I never doubted." Okay? The next thing is to clear the inner resistance, and this is where I talk about the healing journey. Oh, wait, I said I was gonna read messages. Pause. All right. Lisa Childress popped in. Hi, Lisa. All right, Jeanette. Laura said, "I was going to say I have no idea how this coincidence happened. I applied for a green badge on Noom sent several months ago and have not heard back. Last night I lost it. Last night I direct messaged Daryl and asked." That's all it says. Is there more? Oh, that's all it says. And I asked. I'm not sure what the coincidence was. Jeanette, I know you said we shouldn't say but. I know you said we shouldn't say but. I'm a rebel. Well, yes. Money is a struggle for me. Have to get better with that. Thank you, Kristen, for coming on here. I asked Daryl what it would take for me to get a green badge, and the next day the blackout on Noon 5 happens. Okay. This is true. The brain does not know the difference. That's cute, Shelley. And Peter said, "For the past few hundred days, my daily walks have included visualizing my new Belgian Malinois by my side. I'm picking him up next week." Peter, because we had a conversation, but I was like, when I heard that, I feel like this is so in alignment for you. I feel like this is this is so your next thing for whatever reason. Does that make sense? Like, it feels so purposeful for you, and it's going to be incredibly serving for you for whatever reason, however that's going to look for you. But that's what I feel intuitively. All right, the next one is, sorry, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, y'all, because YouTube likes that. Okay. All right. The next one is to clear the resistance. Like the old beliefs, I'm not good enough. Nothing ever works out for me. I can't have the good stuff. All of those type of things, the stories that we tell ourselves. Be willing to gently shift those stories. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because I talk about this a lot over on the Vibe. You guys know, but turning those statements around, really questioning yourself, because look at what I do. Okay. What I do here. You guys know, You guys, my dream was to help people, was to teach people. And all y'all know how fearful I was of public speaking. Right now, talking to you live on a camera, I have this much fear. There you go. I have zero fear, none. I wasn't even nervous. I was like, okay, good on. But this took time. I wouldn't be able to talk about this stuff. I wouldn't be able to share this type of stuff with you all had I still been in that old mindset of no one wants to. I don't know exactly the quote, but it was something belief of people get mad at me when I talk truth, or people don't like it when I talk truth, or people don't like me when I talk truth. Whatever it was, I was really afraid because I had had a lot of those experiences in the past because I'm super intuitive, number one, and number two, I see behind the veil. And I for some reason, I don't know if it's a spiritual gift, I don't know what it is, but I can like sit with someone for 50, I can hear 15 minutes of their story and I know exactly what needs to be done. And that's something that I had since high school, and that had a lot of backlash. I had a lot of backlash coming at me from that. So it made me play small, it made me shut down, it made me get quiet, all those type of things. Not super quiet because I'm not super quiet, but you get what I'm saying. So here I was wanting to speak out into the world. Well, this is what I had to do. I had to clear that resistance. And I had to clear it and 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 clear it. And it took a while because it was deeply rooted and it had happened many, many times throughout my life. So, this is what I mean by clearing resistance. Go in and find your limiting beliefs. This is it, you guys. I'm giving you the full Monty here. How we manifest anything we want. Peter, I love your story. I'm so happy for you. So, the next thing, are you ready? This is a biggie. And this is one that as you can tell, well, I'll share a story with you. To take inspired action, do not force. Forcing does nothing. Get it in your mind that forcing is resistant energy. What is resistant energy? It's a force field pushing out anything that could come your way. That's what it is. It's resistant. It's resisting. It's pushing. It's pushing. It's pushing. On my journey, I've learned that. So I know, because back in the day when I was building this business and doing these things, I was attached to all the hows. Well, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. Like my daughter. The reason why I have an Instagram account, you guys, is because my daughter told me. My oldest, she's like, Mom, you have to get an Instagram account. You have to do this. You have to do that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll get an Instagram account. I started posting over there and I was like, this is a lot of work. I had to learn a whole thing. I I laughed at my own videos. If you guys ever check them out, I have a lot of fun over there when I do it because I'm just being goofy because that makes me happy. That's what made it happy for me. Okay, I was doing goofy things. So I do goofy videos and things like that. But, I just wasn't in love with it. It wasn't inspired action for me. I wasn't feeling the. But when wisdom came along, that was inspired. I was like, I want to do like this feels good. And it felt inspiring and light and I wanted to do it. And what did wisdom do for me, you guys? It cultivated my voice. It gave me confidence. But you see how the inspiration led me to my healing, to my next best step? This is why we follow inspiration only, not the hows. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to. Bob's doing it this way. Trisha's doing it that way. I have to. No, my daughter in her mind, and that was okay, was like, you have to become Instagram famous. You have to blah, 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 do this, post this. And I was like, it just didn't feel good. I tried and it didn't feel good. So I was doing things that felt good to me. That's why you guys will see my social channels. They don't have big numbers. My Facebook one did, but that was, I don't know, I reached 5,000 years ago and stopped posting on it because two people see my posts. That didn't feel good to me. I'm like, I don't want to do this. So wisdom came along and I realized really what I love and what I enjoy is speaking live. That's what I enjoy. So I was like, okay, I'm going to speak live over here and cultivated my voice, got rid of a large majority of my nerves going on wisdom, doing that. And then something clicked inside of me and I said, I think I'm going to go to YouTube. It out of the blue, it was inspired action. So I went to YouTube for probably a year. Now you're going to notice my channel's old because I had started way back when, 15, I don't even know when. And I posted a video or two when I was on Sonora and Living Live back in 2010. So it's how old is it? 15 years old. Okay. So the channel appears old, but I didn't do much on it. I didn't do much on it, but for I decided I was gonna jump into it. So I'm gonna do YouTube. This feels good to me. I just don't know much about YouTube. I wasn't watching much YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, The Right House, yes, and I'll share that story. Yes, Laura, that's a great one. I have that on my list to share with you guys. So anyway, I started doing YouTube, but I was inspired. It felt fun. I was learning how to do things. I was learning editing. I was setting up stuff. I was learning how to put little pictures in and these type of things. And I did within 8 months, I was monetized, which I was taught, I was following this girl that was on Wisdom back in the day. Forgot her name. I'm sorry. But she's a big YouTuber and she helps people grow their YouTube channels, and I was listening to things. I wasn't doing all the things she was telling me because it wasn't inspired. Post 5 shorts a day. No, I don't have that much time. I'm coaching people. I don't have that much time. So I was just doing what felt good to me. So if I felt inspired to get on live, I got on live. If I felt I wanted to upgrade my thumbnail game, I upgraded my thumbnail game. If I blah 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 blah. So that's what I did. I got monetized in 8 months. That's big. That's huge for YouTube. Okay, without a viral video. I didn't have any viral videos. I had viral for me, some that went sort of big for me, but no viral video. That felt great at the time. What did YouTube do for me? What did YouTube do for me? It helped me to get even more comfortable speaking in front of people. It gave me more confidence, even though the algorithms, as we know, when you're not a big channel, you don't get a whole lot of likes at first. And I would dip in and out of that. Maybe I suck. Nope, nope, nope. Just keep talking from your heart, and then I go back this way and I go back this way. And I did that. All right. And then I get this opportunity out of nowhere. Right when I was getting burned out from YouTube, I get an opportunity to become a speaker, a top mentor, whatever they call us on Noon Vibe. And I was like, okay, you want to know the odds of that? There was 80,000 people, I think, on Wisdom. I was the only one chosen. Why? It's not because I have a million followers, I can assure you that. It's because the energy that I was putting out in the universe. It's what I was putting out there, what I wanted to do, how I wanted it to look, and it came out of nowhere. Do you see what I'm saying? Noon Vibe wasn't even a thing. This is what can happen. So this can happen for you. It's not all about It's not, oh, it happens for some people. It will happen for the people that put the effort forth, the people who are hearing what I'm saying and implement these things into their life. And some things are easier to manifest than others. One time, I got to put on some chapstick, you guys. One time I was driving, I was going to go shoe shopping with one of my best friends. We both have really narrow feet, so we don't fit a lot of things. Okay, I'm not connected to this. This is not a paid endorsement, but I love Moroccan Magic. I need to get a paid endorsement for it. Just gonna It's so, like, smooth. Anyway, um, and the whole time that we were driving there, I thought I not thought, I felt. I literally felt, I'm gonna find 4 pairs of shoes. Unheard of, okay? It's very difficult for me to find shoes. Not tennis shoes, but, nice shoes, and I was still doing hair at the time. Like I said, my friend at the time had very narrow feet too. What happened? It was like I walked out with 4 shoes. Of course I did. So some things are easier to manifest than others, okay? When you do that, this is the key, to go into yourself and say, "What did I feel? How did I do that? What did I do?" You're gonna feel it. You are absolutely gonna feel it. Go within and say, "You know what? I let go. I didn't question it. I knew it was possible. I hit a zero space of absolute abundance." Boom. Can I tell you how many times I go into shoe stores and can't find anything because if they're like a sandal or a slide, my foot slides out the front, and I'm clinging onto the front with my toes, like, it's so ugly. I don't do that. I won't buy those. But you know what I mean? I'm like, no, my foot doesn't fit right. Plus, I did hair for 30 years and I took care of these babies. Let me tell you, I took care of them. I spent any amount of money I needed to on shoes that I could stand in all day. So and they were cute shoes because for some reason, this is such a sidebar, but doing hair, if I had a slight incline and I was on a wedge because I'm short, that helped. I could walk into them, I could leave work and keep wearing them. So I was very particular about my shoes, but I didn't believe it wasn't possible. So that's the part of, what was that last one? Yeah, clearing the resistance. We got to clear resistance and do it as much as possible. Do it as much as possible. And this is part of also when we think things um, like I was saying the other day when we are talking about clearing limiting beliefs within ourselves, and we're just nope, 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 nope. If one of those thoughts comes in for me, I will block it out. When I'm on top of my game, I'm not always on top of my game. Okay. There's things in life that are happening. But even if I've been off of my game, yes, Peter said letting go of resistance is key. Absolutely. So even when I am, I've noticed I've not been on top of my game, or I don't, this is how I always notice when something's happening. I don't like what starts coming to me. I start to see these little tiny nuances of things in my life, and I'm like, oh, I'm pulling this in. I don't like this. Oh, where has your mind been? What have you been thinking? What have you been remembering? Whatever. We only have so much mind thought time in any given day, right? Because we just have a lot going on. I do. And so sometimes I can just drop the ball, but I'll notice I'm like, okay, you got to get back into it. And then I will start doing that thing again. And that's what prompted me to give this talk today, because I have been really doing my manifestation work lately. And I thought, I'm going to get up and talk about this. All right. So no enforced action. Remember, this is not about trying to make it happen. It's about allowing it to happen. Is the odd every once in a while, does the video do a little thing? Because I keep catching something out of the corner of my eye, like it's jumping or something, or there's being a little, I don't know. I'm just curious because that was happening when I was recording. Yeah, house, not horse. I knew, Laura. Yeah, that's okay. I speak fluent typo, if you guys don't know yet. Okay, so we want to move in the direction of the inspiration. Keep that in mind. What feels good now? What feels good now? What is my next best step? What am I inspired to do? There were days when I was writing my book, The Recovering People Pleaser, where sat down at the computer and nothing was coming out. And I was on a deadline. I had like 6 months to get this thing done. And I was like, okay, nothing's coming out. So I could have forced it, but I know better. So I said, today is not a writing day. And I went and did something else that made me feel good. Seriously. And let me tell you something. Every time I did that and I went and allowed myself to do something else that made me feel good, the inspiration rose. And then I'd like type out my book. I use zero AI, by the way, and I will never use AI to write my books. I will write my books. That's the end of it, because I want it to come from me. I want it to be my voice. I don't even think AI was really a thing so much when I was writing that book. But anyway, inspired action, inspired action, inspired action. Can you guys write in the chat inspired action? I would love to see that. Inspired action, inspired action, inspired action. Make sure. Okay. No hows. No forcing, only inspired action. And if you don't have inspired action at one point, that's okay. Wait, oops, sorry, that was a phone call. If you don't have inspired action one day, it's okay. Don't freak yourself out. Don't freak yourself out. Just say, I don't feel inspired today. What can I do that feels good? Sometimes it's vacuuming. There's times when I feel inspired to do that, but I literally felt inspired to vacuum. But I feel like I want to vacuum. I'd go vacuum. Do 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 do. I'm vacuuming. Next thing you know, whew, the inspiration came back. Don't be afraid to follow your inspiration. This is one of those trusting things that we truly have to trust, that this is how it works. You know what? If I go do something like I don't feel inspired to do anything to work on whatever it is your dream is. I just don't feel it. But I really want to go lay on the ground with my cats or my new dog Jet. This is what I want to do. Go do it. Go do it. You're clearing energy, you're clearing space. So important. Yay, Lisa and Shelly played. Inspire. Oh, here we go. Jennifer did, and Peter Carrington did too. Thanks, you guys. All right, I'm going to scroll back a little bit because I think I missed some messages. The fluffy thing on the microphone is I don't know what they're called, a spit screen or it helps the S's and things like that. Maybe Peter can give you a better description of that, but that's what it does. because under it is just the microphone. So that's what it does. So I've got one of these little Russian hats or Fargo. Don't they wear these in Fargo too? Okay. The next one, let me keep moving through. The next one is detaching from the how and the when. How and the when. Huge. This one makes me want to cry. For some reason, I want to cry. I got a little teary when I said that. Can you guys see? You can't see that on when I'm on just audio, but yeah, detaching from the how and the when. You know what this is about, you guys? This is about getting happy with your life now. Getting happy with your life now. Enjoying your life now. You know, that thing that I said at ZK Grill about we can do whatever we want, that thing, I went back to living my life, being happy now, being in the juicy present moment. The present moment is so incredibly important. You know what? After this talk, I wouldn't do it now, but afterwards, type into ChatGPT, why is the present moment so important in manifestation? Just type that in, see what it says. Because in it, you're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're in a baseline energy. When we are in the pure present moment, we are not in fear. We're not in regret. We're in nothing. We're just in now. And now is a beautiful place to be. Like I said, it's a baseline energy. When I've had some of the most heinous anxiety ever, horrible, you guys have heard me talk about it. And I got into the present moment. I told this story where I walked from my van to the front door, my mom's front door on a gravel driveway. And I was just like, coming home from work, I was just vibrating. It was horrible. And I said, Kristen, where are your feet? And I'm carrying, I got all my crap. I'm leaving my car. I got all my crap. And I'm walking across the gravel and it's making a crunching sound. And I listened to the crunching sound. That's all I did. I listened to the crunching sound. And by the time I got to the sidewalk, my heart rate had decreased. This is true story. The pure present moment. So the other day I was finding myself rushing. No reason. Just I get into these little frenzies where I have to rush. I'm like, I gotta do this. My daughter's wedding. We're leaving Thursday. There's all kinds of things. And little tiny things, right? Getting travel sizes shampoo, just tiny, tiny things. Bringing my own gluten-free pancake mix. And I go, you don't have to rush. Just be present. Just be present. You'll get to all these things. You can do it with peace or you can do it with not peace. And I chose peace because the feeling of rush, does it really make us go any faster? I don't know about you guys, but I drop stuff. I forget stuff. I make a mess of stuff when I'm rushing. I half-ass stuff. But the present moment, I'm very mindful and intentional about everything that I do. Yes, Jeanette, present moment, present moment, present moment. I love you guys. It's so fun. This is so fun. So much easier to read too. Okay, so here's a biggie. You ready for this one? Oh, did I say that already? Yeah, detach from the how and the when. That's the one that made me want to cry. Let go and trust. Trust the process and trust that everything is working out for you and in your favor, even if it seems like a little backstep. Everything is happening for you in your favor for your highest good, even if it feels like it's not. I was just watching a YouTube channel the other day. Oompaville, I don't know if you guys know him. I don't know if you know these people, but anyway, they're people I picked up on from my kids, and he was betrayed. He was scammed out of, I think, $500,000. And he told his story. And he was calling out the guy too. I guess you can do that on YouTube. And he was calling out the guy. And at the end of it, he said, I'm so grateful for this experience. I'm really grateful. And he's just such an honest, authentic young man. And I looked at it, I was listening to him and I'm kind of shaking my head. I go, I get it, Caleb. I get it. Because those back steps mean something. Those little irky things, they mean something. There's something juicy in that for us because we're likely having to clear something out. So changing our mind about that, like this might be a back step, right? You hear me and Lois talking about this all the time. Like, what does this mean? What's the lesson here? What am I supposed to be learning here? There's something in it. So change your perspective on it. I know some things suck, and I know I'm speaking very broad based right now. I know some things like majorly, majorly suck, and it's really, really hard. But still, asking yourself what I'm learning from it because you're growing. And remember, you're clearing the resistance. You're growing into a higher vibrational version of yourself. Kristen of 10 years, 15 years, coming right out of my College of Kristen, I was still not at the energy level that I'm at now. There was a lot of things that I had to do to clear things out. There was still growing and healing that I had to do to clear things out. Okay, the energy that now the message was still the same, but the fear, the self-doubt, those type of things were still in place. Okay. So detaching from the how and the when. Mike Dooley calls these the cursed hows. I have to do blank. I have to get on Instagram. I have to grow my Instagram channel because everybody's telling me I have to do that. There's no cursed house. I have to do this. I have to take that. I try the supplements. I try the things for the menopause, the belly weight, and all this stuff. And you know what? I was listening to one lady speak on here. Forgot her name, or I'd shout her out. She's cool as can be. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Oh, Shailene. Shailene Johnson, Chalene, Shailene Johnson. She's darling. But anyway, I was listening to her and she was saying, you know how I lost the thing? She goes, I stopped doing all the things. And it's a whole big thing. And I thought, yeah, there's something about doing it our way. The whole Frank Sinatra thing, doing it your way. There's something about that. But this is one of the most important things is to detach, to let go and to trust. Stop obsessing about when or where or how. Sink in, be in the pure present moment. Trust that universe God has this. You know how many times that I have literally said to universe, I'm giving this to you. I'm giving this to you. I can't make this happen. I don't know how. My little brain can't figure this out. I'm giving this to you. Please guide me, show me, lead me. It's kind of like setting the GPS on your car. If you set a GPS on your car and you want to go to this particular location, it's going to make you go left, right. Sometimes there's a detour. Sometimes you're over a bridge, under the bridge. You're doing all these things. See what I'm saying? You've got to trust that universe, God is dialed in to your destination. Who was it? Mel Robbins said the other day, I was watching her, I think it was on Oprah. It sounds like I watch a lot of things all the time. I really don't. I click in and click out, but it doesn't matter if I do, if that inspires me. But I was watching her on Oprah, and maybe it wasn't Oprah, but anyway, she was saying something to the effect of she doesn't sweat the when anymore. These are my words, not hers, but I agree with them. She doesn't she doesn't sweat the when anymore because she knows what's happening right now, right stinking now, is leading her to the next thing. And that's what I'm trying to say with you. And a lot of people love Mel Robbins, so I wanted to bring her into this conversation. She's a cool chick. I think we'd be friends. But my point is, she doesn't sweat the when anymore because when you're on course and you keep your eye on the prize and you keep going no matter what, it will come. And all these little weird things, they're all meant to be. They're all purposeful. Okay, we got the chat going. Let me see here. I love your hearts, you guys. Thank you. All right, let me see. Michelle W., that was for you. Trust the universe to get to your destination. Yeah. Oh. Just curious for my vibers, what do you think about this video rather than the audio? No, not saying I'm going to switch. I'm not. I still do lives here, but do you like seeing the speaker more or do you prefer the audio? I'm just curious. It's just a curious question. There's no right or wrong answer. I would love to hear what you guys have to say to that because you've listened to me for so long on Vibe. Now all of a sudden you get to see me. Is that good? Is it bad? Is it distracting? I don't know. I'm curious. All right, the next thing. Oh, this was where I was going to tell the story about the house. This house that love hearing you, Miss. Yes. Yeah, the voice is calling in. Yep, I agree with you. Yep. It's a thing. Okay, so Laura had mentioned the house, and I wrote down here under this section, I was gonna tell you about this story about the house I'm living in. All right, so when my tsunami happened, I was living in a 5-bedroom house. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a 4-bedroom and a casita. It actually had a casita attached to it, which it was really cool. It's like a little separate area. And, it was north-south exposure. It was all the things that I wanted. I love that house. And then, of course, shit hit the fan. I am homeless and broke and all these things. You guys know my story. And one of my goals, one of my desires, one of my dreams was to get my kids, oh, it's gonna make me tear up, back into the same size house, the same comfort level, everything that we had. That house was on half hitch, so I'm gonna call that half hitch. And this house is on Vista. So half hitch and Vista. Okay, half hitch is the old house. I wanted to get them back into the same size, comfort level. Everybody had their rooms. I had an office, all of these type of things. And it was a dream, but it was far. I lived at my mom's for 5 years. So grateful for that time. It was so serving. It was so beautiful. Again, I fought it at first, and then I sunk into it and I saw how purposeful it was for me and for everybody. Because here's another beautiful thing about the universe, everything is for the highest good of all concerned. So it might seem like a backstep with somebody or someone leaves your life or what have you, or you have to leave someone's life. It appears like it's bad when universe is guiding us, God is guiding us. It's for the highest good of all concerned always. And I always end all my intentions, all my prayers with for the highest good of all concerned. So please write that down. Always. Because let's say I go, I want to manifest $6 million. Well, what happens if something happens that's not so great, but I get $6 million from it or something like highest good of all concerned, always. I want it to land out of nowhere. I don't want it to be because something happens and then an insurance claim, or you see what I'm saying? I'm not even going to go into that area, but you get what I'm saying? Highest good of all concerned, always, always, always. Okay. It will always work itself out. So the highest good of all concern was for me, my babies, to be in that house for 5 years. It was for the highest good of all concern. I see it all now. All of it was purposeful. I fought it. You guys have heard me talk about how much I fought it. 42 years old living with my parents. No, what the heck, right? Mm-mm. But then I started to relax into it. And anyway, so then we move into a rental because my mother passes away and my stepsisters, we just won't go there. It was not good. And I moved out. All right. And we're in the rental. And I'm in the rental we had 1 year. Now, at this point, I am getting ready to purchase a house because the rental's coming up. Now, we have 30 days left on the lease or the rent, whatever, of the rental. Only time I've ever leased or rented, so I don't know. Well, I had apartments, but a house. We had 30 days left. So I messaged the homeowner who was very, very sweet. His name was Joel. And I said, "Hey, Joel, is it possible at all that, we want to buy a house? We want to move out here and buy a house. So is it possible at all that we can go like month to month or week to week after this? Because, this and that." He goes, "No, I'm sorry. I need to fill it again, this and that," for whatever his reason. And I was like, "Okay, no problem, Joel." So we started looking for houses, and one of my hair clients who was my realtor for many of the houses that I bought, I did her hair forever. Her name was Penny. Love you, Penny. Um, I got Penny on board, and she's looking for houses, but also my husband Doug he's really into that area. His father was a real estate agent. He's a contractor, general contractor, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he's really good at this stuff and he loves looking up that stuff. So she was looking up stuff. He was looking at stuff. We looked up one house. I was like, nope, not it. It needed too much work. Looked at another one. I'm like, oh, this one's kind of cool, but it sold right out from under us. And the whole time, now remember, now 2 weeks have gone by. We have 2 weeks left to buy a house, for me to buy a house, because it was me buying it alone. Doug and I weren't married. And water. I'm laying in bed. Now, here's what I wanted. I wanted a 5-bedroom house on a cul-de-sac, north-south exposure, very important in Arizona. We don't want the setting sun coming in your house. I wanted a big, huge bathtub. I wanted a gas range, which I'd never had before. The rental had one, and I was like, "This is awesome." So, figured that out. I wanted a gas fireplace. I did not want a large piece of land because I didn't want to take care of a lot of landscaping. I wanted it absolutely pristine clean when we moved in. I wanted nobody in it, so we didn't have to wait for the people to move out. I wanted a pool, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I can't remember all the things. I think that pretty much covers it. Anyway, I sat there with the clock ticking, right? The clock is ticking. We have 2 weeks left. I'm sitting there. I'm just watching Dateline one night, and who's now my husband reaches over and shows me something on the MLS, and it was, he kept showing me houses that were too small, and I'm like, "It's too small, it's too small, it's too small, it's small." And eventually, I said to him, I said, "Please stop showing me those. I don't want any of those. I'm buying the house. This is what I want." And in my heart, I wanted my kids again back to that place. It was like a restoration. And so one night he shows me a house. I've looked at, remember, 2. He shows me this house. I'm like, kind of resistant. I'm like, "Oh dear, what's this now? Another 1,200 square foot house." And like, nothing wrong with that. That's just not what I wanted. So I look over and I was like, "Hmm." Oh, I wanted it in a certain zip code because I wanted a certain high school. That too, that's important. So I'm like, "Ooh." And I look at it, it's the size, it's the all the things, no one lives in it, all these things. I'm like, "Let's go check it out." I walked in the front door and the energy, I was like, I literally said, "This is it. This is it." We bought the house. Closing, they told us it was gonna happen long, like, it'd be I don't know what was I don't know real estate stuff, but they were like, "Oh, it's gonna take X amount of time for this closing." And it could take 4 weeks, it could take 6, like, I'm like, "Okay." I'm just like, "Okay, all right." No sweat, no sweat. I'm just like, "All right." Flow, 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 flow. And the closing happened, I don't remember the exact a long time ago, you guys, but basically the closing happened. We moved out in time for the lease and moved right into this house. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Exactly what I wanted. No sweat. I believed it was possible. I didn't blink. I didn't, nothing. I was like, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have this. That's a huge manifestation. And I always remember that story because the way it fell into place. But here's the thing, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the pot. I didn't wait for the thing to happen. None of those things. I just went with it. Okay. The one thing that it didn't have is that the MLS was wrong and it wasn't in the district or it wasn't in the boundary of the school because I had been driving my daughter to school every day and I wanted her to start taking a bus. It was in the boundary, so I still had to drive my daughter to school every day until she could drive. The only thing. Okay. 2 more things, and they're very short. So I'm going to bring these to you real quickly. Practice gratitude. We hear about this a lot, right? I did that funny face on purpose. Practice gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude all day long, every day, all day long, every day. Thank you for my people coming over here today. Thank you for this water. Thank you that this cup keeps my water cold when it's 185 degrees in Arizona in the summer. Thank you that I can leave it in my car and come back and it's still cold. Thank you. Someone's laughing at that. Thank you. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for love. I will lay in bed at night. I've told you all this before, and I will literally just I'll start with just saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and feeling it. And then stuff comes in. Thank you that my feet are warm. Thank you for the ceiling fan. Thank you for air conditioning. Thank you that I found this toothpaste that at least gets my teeth so white. Thank you for, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just get on this little rolling rampage of gratitude. And sometimes I'm brought to tears because I'm so grateful. Not like I'm sobbing, but I feel the tears well up. Get in that heart center, y'all. Open heart attracts. Closed heart repels. Open heart attracts. Closed heart repels. I didn't show you guys this one. This is a piece of merch. You matter. And on the back it says you go love yourself. I'm still making new merch over there all the time. Haven't done it for a couple of weeks. maybe a couple of months, but I got sick and all that stuff. So, go check it out. The merch store, you guys know where to find it. Okay, the last one, and then we'll be done here. All right, let me see what everybody says. Oh, yeah, let's go back to the little poll I took. Mm. Love seeing and hearing you, Miss Voices calling in. Michelle, I like seeing you. Jeanette, I enjoy the whole audience chat. That's yes, I like that too. I like seeing you, Miss the callers. Miss Lisa, it's nice. Both, but miss listening to others. I really want both, but if I really had to choose inspired action. Hell yes, gratitude is central and there are unlimited things to be grateful for. 100%. It is key. It is key. There is, I talked to you guys about this. I'm going to show you. Okay. This is the emotional guidance scale that I talked to you guys about. See, it's laminated. I use this for my clients. When they come in, I'll say, where are you at on this scale? And they'll say, I'm at 11, overwhelmment. Or I'm at 10, frustration, irritation, impatience. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. I'm grateful for you. And what's at the top here? Joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation, and gratitude. The number one, this is, oh my gosh, I just looked at the time when it said 1:11:11. That was wild. This is what I'm talking about, these synchronicities. I have not glanced at the time I've been on here since I've been on here. So it was 1:11:11. Okay. This is the emotional guidance scale by Abraham Hicks. They constructed this. They wrote the book Ask and It Is Given. Okay. When you are in a lower vibe, when you are in any of these lower emotions, okay, here you go. Any of these lower emotions, you're in a low vibrational frequency. The key is to move yourself up the chart. So even you can go from boredom to hopefulness. It's an increase in energetic frequency. Okay. This is why I check in with myself all the time and say, Kristen, where are you at? Where are you at? What are you feeling? I'm kind of in this. Okay. It's kind of a low vibe. Let's check yourself. What are you thinking? What are you believing? What are you doing? These type of things. Check myself so I can raise my vibration. All right. But there's one way for me that I can skip all the BS. And that's going straight to gratitude and sitting in it and being so appreciative and being so grateful and feeling freedom. The other day, I will feel freedom. Think about this as children. What do we feel all the time for the most part, unless it was some sort of heinous upbringing or something like that? For the most part, we feel freedom. I felt very free as a kid, riding my bike around, doing my things, right? I felt free as a kid. How can you get yourself back into those vibrational spaces? That's the space of manifestation. That's the space when we have no resistance. So that's really important to understand. And the last thing is just a little quote that you can remember. And that is a little thought is that you are the creator of your reality. I talked about that way in the beginning. So you guys can go back to the beginning if you want to. Again, if you're getting something from this and you're like, Krista, this is hitting all the places. This is dotting a lot of I's and crossing a lot of T's for me regarding the law of attraction situation, the manifesting situation, then I do recommend it. I don't mean it because I want the views. I do recommend that you go back because I will re-listen and re-listen and re-listen and re-listen to things until it gets in my head, because that's how I've made changes in my life. When it gets in my head, I'm like, okay, there's been so many videos I'll put on or I'm on a walk or something and I'll re-listen to it again and re-listen and I'll just keep doing it because I know that I missed things because I was thinking or the phone rang or I got a text or I was chatting or something was happening. Go back and re-listen. Write yourself notes, journal about things, do the steps, the processes that I talked about here, and you will manifest anything you want. Period. There's no question. So here's a reminder to yourself. Your thoughts and your feelings are powerful. You're not powerless, beloved. You are a co-creator. You are a co-creator. You are equal to everybody else in the universe. No one's different. There's no one that gets the good stuff and you don't. Everybody has to go through some challenges on their journey. Remember what I said, circling back to the beginning again? At the beginning, I said that I believe that the law of attraction journey, the manifestation journey, is really a healing journey because we have to go within and shift things about ourselves. Okay. That's where we clear the energy. So keep doing the work you guys are doing. You're all amazing. Can you guys hit that thumbs up button? Give me a thumbs up. Thank you. There's 5 there so far. I really appreciate you. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Michelle Wasserman for reaching out to me this morning and saying, "Hey, could you do a live today?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, I was going to do a video over on YouTube. So maybe I'll just do a YouTube live and that'll be my post for the day." So thank you, Michelle, for that. I appreciate that. And also, I love the network because I think it was Jennifer reached out to me this morning to ask if I was going on live today. And I gave her the information, and then that reached Michelle. And then Michelle reached out to me. This is what we have here, you guys. We have such a beautiful community. And please know, because you get to see my face now from the bottom, bottom, bottom of my big, fat, juicy heart. I love you and I appreciate you. And I really hope that you guys appreciate yourself because you're pretty cool cats. I just want you to know that. I know you for as much as I know you, which I feel is pretty good. I'm not in your personal life. But let me tell you something, what comes out of your heads and your hearts and your wisdom and your support, you're a force to be reckoned with, all of y'all. All right. And if you have that connection in your group where you guys do feel like you can share your dreams and it will be held, share it. If you want somebody to cheer you on and you know someone can cheer you, you know I will. You know I will. I will be right there going, "Come on, keep going. That's me pushing your butt up the stairs." Because I think I told you guys that too. But anyway, I tell these, yes, the cool cats. All right, you guys, is there anything else you guys want to say or any questions that you have? Please let me know. I'm looking at my little flat hair. That's so funny. You guys got me showered. I actually took a shower today. So that's pretty cool. Oh, let me show you the back of my shirt. So here's the front and here's the back. Can you see it? Can you see it? Did you guys see it? Okay. I love you, Peter Carrington. Yes, Laura said, "I love being able to see you while talking, but I wonder where else we can get people to join the stage live, if any other than Noom Vibe." Yeah. Oh, Noom Vibe's not going anywhere. That's not the problem. They just needed to run diagnostics. That's all it is. Thank you, Jeanette. Jeanette, I saw in the pictures when you were in South Carolina, your shirts. First, I was like, "Oh my God, she's wearing that shirt." I think you got the baby blue. It's so pretty. Um, yeah, there's nothing weird happening. The product team had to run some diagnostics. They needed everybody off the app to do so. So don't worry. I have not gotten any word that it's going anywhere or anything's weird. Okay. Just so you guys know. Um, it was kind of strange. So I was like, take the day off. That's weird. What are people going to do? What am I going to do? Anyway, I agree. We do cheer. Okay, good. Good. You guys are all cheering for each other. I love it. Oh, sage. Yes, it was the sage. Yeah, it looked cute on you. I really love that color on you. All right, you guys. Yes, it would be nice if people could join the stage. I think the only way that we could do that maybe be on Instagram where people could pop up and, pop up and down to say something. It would be video. So you guys would, have to be video too. Thank you. All right, you guys, if that's it, you guys don't have anything more to say, let's end this for today. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. How about everybody say goodbye so I know that you're ready for this too? I love you. All the hearts going up. Okay, you guys, I'm going to hit end stream, but I will see you. Oh, by the way, I will not be on Thursday or Friday, Saturday or Sunday, my daughter's wedding. Flying out Thursday, wedding's Friday, flying home Sunday. So bye, guys. I love you. Bye, guys. So keep that in mind. I won't be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the end of this week for my daughter's wedding. Peace. Love you. Bye.